All right, live from Dogleg Brewery in Fort Worth, Texas, it's time for You Can't Brew That on Television. Now, here are your hosts, Brewmeisters Kyle and the Reverend Ryan Bono.
Hello, beer lovers, and welcome to an exciting season finale episode of You Can't Brew That on Television. It's a somewhat belated season finale, but that's cool because we're here with you anyway. We are your hosts. I am the Reverend Ryan Bono.
And I am Kyle, Kentucky Fried Movie LaPointe.
Oh, that is a fantastic selection. And we're here for the last time this season, helping you bridge the gap between Beer Snob and Frat Boy. And we've got some exciting stuff planned for you guys tonight.
It's a smorgasbord.
Yeah, it's just going to be a fun show. Not a whole lot of heavy stuff going on tonight. Kyle, let's talk a little bit about what we're tasting first.
The first thing we're going to open up is a bottle you brought back from I'm guessing, the Carolinas, huh?
No, actually, I got this as part of the Beer of the Month Club that my wife signed me up for. Yeah, fantastic Christmas present out there. For any of you that know a beer lover on your Christmas list, is the Beer of the Month Club. It is, as Cousin Eddie says, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. And
this was part of last year's Beer of the Month Club present. And I've enjoyed it all year, and I actually asked her to get me the same thing again this year. So tonight we're having from Coney Island Brewery on the Jersey Shore, Mermaid Pilsner. And this is a light beer to get us started. We've got some heavier stuff coming up later tonight. But
as part of our celebration, the end of the season, and last week that we had our show, I went ahead and opened up some stuff from my cellar, and Bono did the same thing and opened up some big beers. But we're going to go ahead and open this. And we're sorry. We'd like to apologize for last week. We were not able to do our show. Bono was not able to attend. He was at an Occupy Fort Worth rally, and he got hit by some pepper spray. There was a few police batons involved. I wouldn't even have known it except for afterwards. He went over to the Starbucks and started using some of their Wi-Fi, got himself a latte, and started posting on Facebook, that these police were really brutalizing him. And so I was able to figure that out. Right. And he said, he was so upset that he would just do what he normally does when he's upset, and he was going to go buy something for himself at Best Buy. So it's good that you're back, man.
It took a really long time to make a really bad joke. Did that go somewhere in your head?
No, it was fun for me.
Okay.
It was a whole bunch of different things, it was all the different types of things
topical.
that you. Right.
Oddly enough, the Occupy people are not into MMA. I thought that they would be. I suggested we go watch the fight, but they all wanted to bang on their drums. So
you're just not a music lover.
No, I'm not. So let's
Bono.
talk about this. Yes, sir.
Just real quick from the chat room, you might be interested to know, Teddy says that your latest shipment of beer arrived about 20 minutes ago.
Nice.
All right.
And unrelated news,
lights
I'm
right
done
up.
for the night.
Yeah. Peace out.
I actually, too, had, I believe it was you, Richard, we were doing Christmas presents back with Sheena and Richard and me and Megan, and what they got me was Beer of the Month Club.
Yeah, we tried that
I believe
out.
it was. Yeah, and I just remember they got it, and it was one of those, your first shipment won't be here for a while, and so by the time it got there, I totally forgot about that present.
That happened to me, too. It came in, February or March or something. And I was like, what is this?
Well, I just remember this was back when DHL was still running their packages.
Yeah.
And I just got this sticker on my door that said, you got to come and pick up this package. We tried to deliver it, but nobody over the age of 21 was home. And I was like, oh, man, I hope it's beer. And then I drove over to the DHL place and picked up a package and went, oh, geez, God, I hope it's beer. And then went in the car and got home and opened it up, and it was beer. And you could imagine my elation when I was actually rewarded with a case of beer when I got home.
I was elated.
It was an elating event.
So, this is a Pilsner.
All right.
We're pretty sure it's an American-style Pilsner.
Yeah, it's not so true to the Bohemian style over there.
It's kind of a mixed bag, but I think you're right. It leans more towards American.
Yeah.
And what kind of flavors are you getting out of this?
And this one, you get a little spicy from the hops. I get some of the citrus from the hops. There's bitterness in the background. It's a very crisp beer. It's more towards the hops than the malt. Okay. Whereas I think the German Pils style or Czech Pils style tend to be a little more balanced, but not quite. They're never balanced, but a little more.
Yeah, it's a little bit more bitterness in here. There's a little bit more hop flavor than you might be used to getting in a Pils, which I really like.
Yeah, I'd say that for sure. The hops flavor is right in the front of the palate instead of just that big bitterness.
Yeah, I think this is a really nice beer. I mean, this is something. This is a great great lawnmower beer.
Yeah, I'd be okay for that.
Yeah, we like to talk about lawnmower beers. We'll probably do another lawnmower episode.
I was actually discussing that with James yesterday after you left in lawnmower beers and what his choices were, and that was a fun episode. I think we'll do that again in the heat of
the audience really liked it, so I think we should definitely get back to that.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly. And then
plus we don't have to come up with another show topic.
I know, right?
Well, we can sit out back and drink a whole lot. Good. That's a show right there. Write that down.
I totally tried to leave him hanging. All right, so in addition to drinking this delicious Mermaid Pilsner from Coney Island Brewery, we're trying it, we're tasting it with some various types of peanuts. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but you probably are going to see us Kyle's reaching for the tomato, garlic, and cheese peanuts right now.
Right.
And I'm personally really digging the cheddar ollies with this. Of course, the cheddar ollies is my favorite flavor to begin with.
Right. Well, I mean, they're all pretty good, and everything has a beer that it may go better with. So
yeah, absolutely.
We can maybe talk about that later too.
So we got a little bit of news for you tonight, and I know a few things that we're really excited about here. One of them is the release of the annual RAR Whiskey Warmer.
One of our favorite beers. That's just something that's so cool that the smaller breweries can do that a big brewery really can't. There's no way you'll ever see a Coors be able to make all the batch of beer that they make and then go ahead and ferment it in a big whiskey barrel. First off, there's not enough whiskey barrels.
Think about the logistics of that sort of thing for a minute.
If you see like an entire warehouse just with whiskey barrels lined as far as the eye can see, it'd be pretty neat. But
that'd be pretty cool, but not going to happen. So RAR takes their winter warmer and they age it in whiskey barrels, used whiskey barrels, and come up with it. Is there any particular brand of whiskey that they use? Is it?
Yes, but
I forget which one it is too. Yeah, so they age it in whiskey barrels, and what you end up with is their winter warmer, which is a delicious beer unto itself.
Right, it's a good beer. It's like a dark winter ale.
Yeah, and it's fortified with some additional flavors of whiskey, which just really, really adds to it, and it complements the flavor just tremendously. It's something we look forward to every year.
And some of these whiskey barrels, they actually have to dump the whiskey out that's still in there. Some of them still have the lees of the whiskey in there. There's that residue, and they filter all that out. But inside that barrel, there's still a whole bunch of viable whiskey that absorbs into the beer. So you can start out with a 7% alcohol beer, and it could end up 8.5%, 9%. But it comes in so soft because this is all the stuff that's still soaked into the wood. So that's what's getting into the beer. And it comes in and adds its flavor, but not only that, adds some kick. And it's just a great way to try like a goblet of beer. Just a small wine glass, something where you can drink it for 45 minutes. Richard and I actually went out to the Saucer the other night trying to get some barley wines. Apparently we were a week too early because nobody's released barley wines yet. So
it's coming here in the next few weeks for sure. This is my favorite time of year as a beer drinker.
Right.
If you look, I'm a big time nerd. Everybody knows that, but I'm going to reinforce that concept. I will actually take and track on a chart, on a graph, the number of beers I have at the Saucer over time. And if you look, the graph kind of goes pretty steady until it hits December, and then every year it just skyrockets up, and then it flattens out again in February when the barley wines and the big heavy IPAs and stuff.
I imagine there's something about intrinsically about the beer drinking getting bigger during the wintertime.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it warms you up, so you tend to have more higher alcohol type beers because those will warm you up faster.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't need to drink as much because you're not moving as much. You really don't need as much sugars and carbohydrates in your body. That helps to dilute that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you step into the bar, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on a Saturday night in December. It's 20 degrees outside. The wind is blowing. The wind chill is 17 below zero. You're not going to walk in there and drink a Mermaid Pilsner.
Right. I'd like 6 Mermaid Pilsners, please, or give me a pitcher. Give me a bucket of beers. I'd like a bucket of beers, please. Oh, you may, but you're going to be bowling.
Oh, Vanessa, the studio audience wants some wine coolers to cool up during the winter. So
that would do it.
Yeah, as long as we're talking about things that have no business at a beer Christmas party, Kyle, why don't you tell us about the Christmas party coming up?
Oh, yeah. With the Cap and Hare, our local homebrew club's doing a Christmas party. believe it's not this Friday, but the next. And we're actually getting so big for our britches, people are paying to get in, and we're catering it and doing it at a hotel this year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun. We decided that we're fancy pants. So we get everybody a chance to go ahead and stay in the hotel if they want, if they're going to be driving and they don't have anybody to drive.
It's probably a good idea. Some of those homebrew events do get pretty silly.
They can get crazy.
It's nice when we have a hotel locally that everybody crashes at.
Even doing the Blue Bonnet and having my wife drive me home, it was like, by the time you get home, you're like, oh, I didn't even like driving in the passenger seat. That was not fun. Yeah. So I'd hope nobody was driving from that event that was drinking there, which I think for the most part people don't. So that's good.
They're pretty pro. You guys drink enough to know it's just not worth it.
And you can track it on calculators.
Yeah, you can track how drunk you are on our Android app. What are you up to right now?
I am at a .064.
Oh, nice.
Tell everybody about this app you're using, Kyle. This is pretty cool.
Well, I think we'll wait and discuss this at another time.
Oh, it's a
when
secret.
we can get this reviewed.
Give them the name.
Yeah, we're waiting on the honky.
This one I'm using right now is called
sweet time.
Alcodroid.
Alcadroid.
Okay.
Alcodroid.
That's you, honky. Get on it.
So the Alcodroid is what I'll be looking at here. But it seems to be running. It runs it a little different than the program, just the Excel spreadsheet that I built here this last week. But it's fairly accurate to what the Excel spreadsheet was doing.
Okay.
I'm just surprised. Last week I had a couple of really small alcohol beers, and it's amazing the difference when you get some 5.5% and 5% beers instead of a 4% beer. The difference in how fast your alcohol percentage can go up. And that's just 1.5%.
Yeah, and then that's why your 4 and 4.5% beers are called session beers. Because you can drink a low alcohol beer like Guinness, for instance. You can just drink and drink and drink and drink, and not really feel very much at all.
Right, and we discussed this a couple weeks ago, but it was the Oklahoma beers, 3.2 by weight. You could drink 8 of those in a 2-hour setting before you are legally really not able to drive.
I remember when I was going to school there, and it was all I knew. When it's all you know, it's a different story.
Right.
And so I used to make fun of the Texans who would come up and be like, oh, this weak Oklahoma beer, I can't feel anything. And then
whatever, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And then now whenever I go back, I'm like, seriously? Like, I remember hanging out at Bill's. I was at Bill's for like 4 or 5 hours. Did not have a beer in my hand, not once.
Well, that's probably because it's Bill's and you order 12 beers at a time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you're not thirsty.
You order 12 beers at a time, and the sum total of the alcohol in all 12 of those beers is kind of like having 1 pint of Mermaid Pilsner. So
by the time you drink them all, I mean, those mugs are really heavy with like 18 ounces of glass and about 4 ounces of liquid room.
Oh, absolutely.
It's great for that. Something else we were going to talk about in the beer news, and this is something that RAR is also sponsoring an event. They did a live shaving for Movember, and they're also doing a stash contest on the 30th. And Movember is, Bono, you probably know more about Movember than I do.
I do, actually. Movember
I went ahead and celebrated this year. I've got it going.
It's a movement that started in Melbourne, Australia. And in Australia, the way men refer to mustaches is they call it a mo. You have a mustache, that's your mo.
I'm getting some good glasses.
So they started this event called Movember. And the purpose of Movember is to raise awareness and attention towards men's health issues, specifically prostate cancer. And this is a really important thing because I don't know about you, Kyle. I know and just about every other guy I know avoid the doctor pretty hardcore.
When I go to the doctor, they want to open me up and give me surgery. So I try to avoid
very unpleasant experiences. And so a lot of men don't go to the doctor for any reason whatsoever, especially when it comes to some of these more sensitive issues that we're all prone to, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And so one of the big driving forces behind Movember, one of the big things they're going after is to raise awareness about this kind of thing. Encourage men, go to the doctor, don't be a bitch about it.
Right.
There's no reason to be scared of the doctor. And so they're trying to raise awareness about these various cancers and just these various men's health issues and how they important are to all of us.
Women have the pink, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The breast cancer, and so that's a big issue, and they do a good job with the pink, and that smells nice.
This is quite a jump.
Yeah, we're moving up in the world as far as the heat in the beer here. In fact, I got to wage this into my list. By the time I'm done with this, 10% alcohol.
You're going to be hitting it.
I don't know how to convert milliliters into ounces though, so I'm not really sure how much this is.
Yeah, neither do I.
I believe that looks like a probably an 11-ounce bottle. Maybe it could be a 12-ounce, but I really don't think it's a typical bottle. It's shorter than a typical
Yeah, I'd
bottle.
call it 11.
Yeah.
So what we're drinking now is
1
from
milliliter
Brew.
is 0.03381402227 U.S. fluid ounces, Kyle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I told you.
I think, just off the top of my head.
Well, okay. Well, that'll work.
So this is a Brewdog Isle of Arran Stout. And what this is a stout beer that is aged in whiskey barrels. And this particular whiskey is called Isle of Arran. So Brewdog is a really neat brewery. It's really a collaboration brewery, and I can't find which two.
Apparently, even now, this is something else I'd like to discuss. I really want to go into a full episode about these calculators, but I am now too drunk to drive. I haven't even had this beer yet, so there's also some of that issue.
So
just by opening that beer, you've become too drunk.
Before having the beer, but this is the beer entered in. I am now at a 0.090% alcohol, so I'm legally impaired to drive a vehicle, but I haven't finished this beer. So I was only at a 0.062 or something before that, 6.4. But it was amazing. I've had 4 beers or 3 beers tonight. This one jumps me past the legal limit, and I'm only having half of it. So that's pretty amazing. But we're also going to be drinking this beer, so it may take a while for it to filter through the system, and you're constantly dissipating alcohol. So
And this is a fantastic beer, everybody. I strongly recommend you go out and buy this. It's called Brewdog Paradox, and you can get it in most places that nice fancy brews are sold. Not everybody's going to sell this. You're not going to be able to get it.
It's got
at
some
7-Eleven.
smokiness to it.
Yeah, it's got a really neat smokiness. The whiskey comes through. It's kind of like a softer flavor. I don't think the whiskey really punches you in the face like in some whiskey fortified beers.
The smoky, if it's an Isle of Arran, most of the Isle beers are where they do the peat smoked Scotch whiskeys. So they probably used a peat smoked whiskey barrel to age this in. So you're probably getting some of that peat smoke from the whiskey itself.
Yeah, almost certainly.
That's pretty nice, man. See, and the problem with this is now we've got this. We'll be lucky to finish these glasses by the time the night's over. It's like
we're gonna have to because we got one more beer up coming up behind this.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, this is one that I'm very excited about. But before we get to that beer. Here in a little bit, we're going to talk about your beer thanks. We asked people to give thanks and talk about what sort of beers and what sort of beer-related things they're thankful for. Right. And we're going to share what you said about that in here in just a minute. First, though, here's a company that we are personally thankful for. If you have ever had some friends over or spent the afternoon just enjoying some great craft beer, you know that you've got to have something good to snack on while you drink.
Well, we have the perfect new product for you. Lord Nut Levington flavored peanuts.
These nuts come in 5 really great styles, and you can pretty much find one to pair with just about anything that we would drink. Try the Lord Nut El Cheddarales. The jalapeno and cheddar cheese flavor is a zippy way to feed your face.
How about the Rebel Mary, spicy Bloody Mary, lemon pepper, and celery flavored nut?
The Tie-Dyed's exotic blend of curry and lemongrass is something you're not going to find in any ordinary snacks.
Of course, Mamma Mia's tomato, garlic, and cheese flavor is just irresistible.
And for a sweeter crunch, you'll be craving Lord Nut's Cinnapalooza with apples, cinnamon, and notes of vanilla.
Lord Nut Levington is available now at Whole Foods and Central Market. Try all of their amazing flavor combinations, and please spread the word.
It's time to make a stand against bland.
With Lord Nut Levington.
And I don't know about you, Kyle, but trying these for the first time, we got together, we got the sponsor here,
right.
We were here a couple weeks ago, and we got together, a week and a half ago or so on a Friday night, and we decided to try these various offerings that they had.
Discuss what we were feeling, what we were thinking about the products.
I got to tell you, and I told Rich when he first told me about the sponsor, I don't like peanuts.
That's unfortunate.
100% honesty with you, the brewing audience. I do not like peanuts.
I do.
These, however, completely different. These are awesome. These don't taste like peanuts.
They do a really good job, and Richard was right when he told me about them. He said, come give them a shot because they're loaded with you can see the flavoring on them, and they're all different colors when we're sitting here looking at them. So he said he tries them, and he's got that. Well, I'm going to be eating this over flavored product, and really not the case. I think they're very well balanced, where you still get the peanut taste and you still get the flavoring, but it doesn't just kick you in the face.
It's a nice blend of flavors. I really like all of them.
Yeah, I was really worried that it was going to be just over the top, and it would just dominate anything you're eating or drinking, but no, it was really nice. I mean, it was something good that you could snack on and get a nice little flavor profile in the background. Brilliant.
And most of them specifically to me, and I don't know about you, man, but we've tried them with some different beers, and we're gonna have a lot of fun next season trying these with different beers. We're gonna eat them with everything we drink, and the El Cheddarales and to me the Mamma Mia, just they both go well with tons of different flavor profiles.
Yeah, you can do a lot with those. And we were talking about different beer pairings and whatnot we could do with that the other day, which would be something fun to talk about. But even just before we were starting the show, we had already popped the top of this Pilsner, and I thought it tasted really good with the Thai flavored ones.
I leaned more towards the Mamma Mia. I felt it went better with the Mamma Mia. So just one of those things that we're going to try next season.
But that's a good thing about not over flavoring your food.
Yeah,
when you have something, it's salty enough to keep you drinking. It's good enough to cleanse the palate between beers, but it also has some flavoring, so it mixes with the beer.
Yeah, it's a really neat product that I'm personally very excited about.
It's pretty neat.
And next season, what we're going to do a number of times, I think, is we're going to pick a night and pick a flavor. Let's say, second episode of the season, we're going to be doing El Cheddarales. And each of us will bring beers that we think might pair well with the El Cheddarales.
Something we've done.
We're going to try them. Yeah, we're going to let you know how it works out. Sure. And hopefully you guys can do the same thing at home. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, go check them out. They're all over the Metroplex, and they're spreading out at lordnut.com if you want to see what they've got to offer and order them. Great way to snack during the holidays.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Pretty neat. Yeah, and lordnut.com. That's it's a good place to get it.
So let's talk about beer thanks. Rich, we'd put it out there for people to tell us what they're thankful for, and we were supposed to do this before Thanksgiving, but my unfortunate encounter with batons of the Fort Worth PD.
Pepper spray will put you down longer than you think sometimes.
Really will. It was tough.
So we posted this question on our Cap and Hair Facebook, on our Cap and Hair message board, and there was some response on there. Some of it was funny, some of it wasn't. We'll filter through it. But, one of the first people said they're thankful for the Bud and Coors and Millers of the world to make them appreciate the good beers. Basically, they're thankful for having a baseline for this is what beer can barely taste like, and to have the rest. And we've talked about it before. We're bridging the gap. I tend to think there's always a place and a time for a large craft or a large market brew, but I mow a bigger lawn than some people, so I need a lot more beer while I'm mowing.
Yep. I am thankful for a group like the Cap and Hair to share my love of home brewing with. I don't think this can be underestimated.
No, it really can't. We've discussed that.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about. We've never actually come out and said, "Oh, I'm thankful for the Cap and Hair," but really, that's the underlying theme is because we are. It's really great. And I know we have a lot of viewers that are coast to coast. Find your local brew clubs, even if you don't brew. Just go hang out with them and drink.
We've got several people in the brew club that may have brewed at one point in their life or may have sat in with other brewers, but they're not brewers. They just show up to the home brew club meetings because they know there's great beer and great community.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll learn about beer and you'll taste a lot of different beer, and it's just a lot of fun. So I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
You want to read this next guy's got a list.
Yeah, he's got a list. He's got some good ones, but it's good ones that a lot of people have encountered. And one guy, he's thankful that he's never had any problems with brewing. Never blown up the house from having CO2 in a pressurized container.
Yeah, he's thankful that he hasn't had.
Right. Beer's much more forgiving.
Unfortunately, that had a little more dire consequences than his beer habit.
He's thankful that he hasn't had an infection in any of his beers yet, I think.
That's pretty good that he knows
that's a pretty good. That's a pretty big thing.
If he's a new brewer, he may not have known all the infections that he's got. You hang out with some of the guys that can really taste in the clubs, and they go, "Oh, that's slightly infected." You really? Yeah, it is. But it's hard to notice. When
he's thankful for the club as well.
And we are. I mean, I know
I am.
And he's thankful for having a supportive wife, which I think we all are. And I think that's one thing that's really neat about the Cap and Hair is there's a lot of dual member, like family memberships. There's a lot of wife and kid, and and mom and everybody else is involved in the store in their brewing experience, rather than just them coming in as the guy and this is their hobby that they get away from everybody.
Did you respond to your own?
Yes, I did. I was trying to help everybody.
Who's your favorite internet TV host? Oh, Kyle is.
That's Kyle.
You don't even want to say it? I am. I'm thankful.
Nick
for...
Goodman.
Okay, fine. You're going to gloss right over it. All right. No, you don't get to hear it. No, he's glossed right over it. I posted it on the Cap and Hair message board. You can read it anytime. You just go on.
Blatant censorship.
Kyle is thankful for local breweries like the RAR being so helpful to the homebrew community.
I am.
That is a dumb thing to be thankful for. Let's move on.
I really do. I mean,
I think that's a very. In fact, when I first read it, before I saw that it was you posting it, I was like, "Oh, that's another
insightful from this guy.
That's a really good one." But it wasn't, was it? Because it came from you.
It slowed down. I posted it in the morning, and the message board had slowed down, so I was kind of.
Oh, so you wanted to boost it back up to the top of the most recent post? Okay.
Yeah, I had an intent there.
Beer Socks says, "I'm thankful for Kyle's sweet ass,"
and I can't believe you actually wrote that on there, which was immediately followed up
by "I'm thankful Matt didn't throw up on me,"
and that has to do with an event that happened at the Cap and Hair Homebrew Club, and we do not gossip. So if you want to hear about the gossip, you're going to have to come and talk to us in person because we will gossip.
What happens at homebrew stays in homebrew.
That's right. Until we bring it up somewhere else.
Kyle informed the message board that I got the crocodile flu. And then from what
before I knew that you had gotten a run into.
It says from what the doctors tell him, he is just the tip of the iceberg, and then we all might be in for another massive animal-related flu epidemic. And then Jay Ellis says, "Now that's something. We need photos of Bono looking like a crocodile sitting on the tip of an iceberg." We all know what Jay's thankful for. All right,
Jay's thankful for farking. Is that
yes? That's exactly what he's thankful for. Everyone. This has been a really fun season.
It has been.
Things are really moving with this show, and we couldn't do it without you guys, the brewing/viewing audience. And we've got a lot of exciting stuff planned for the next 6 months. Where we're going to do another live event. We're going to have our friends from Levington come out.
Brewing Bowl.
Yeah, we're going to. I was getting to
that. Come on, man.
I wanted to save the best for last.
Okay. And hopefully our Brewing Bowl gets occupied by as many of our friends and supporters. And to join us.
I've actually informed my Occupy buddies that Bill Gates will be at the Bruin Bowl, so they're going to be here to protest.
Oh, I thought I was going to say maybe you tell them Steve Jobs was going to be there and they'd all show up.
Oh, wow.
No?
Good job, Kyle. Too soon.
Too late? Too soon? Too late? Which one? Where am I? Okay. So, anyway, but maybe it's a seance. Maybe they're all going to...
Yeah, there it is. We'll reanimate Steve Jobs' corpse.
Brewing Bowl just got a little
bit creepy.
No, we're going to brew an alt beer.
Yeah,
like we do every year. Yeah. We brew a beer that we've designed here on the show, and this one will be an alt beer. It's ready to go. It's a pretty simple recipe. Yep. Probably one of the easiest ones we've ever done in a Brewing Bowl.
It really is. Usually we do something like really big and extravagant. I mean, this is going to be pretty straightforward.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I think we need to kind of continue that tradition. I'd like to keep it a smaller beer, something we can make sure and make more manageable in our brewing day.
And it's looking like OU might be playing that day. So,
you really think Cotton Bowl?
The Cotton Bowl's not January 1st, is it? I thought it was the 3rd.
Cotton Bowl's always on the 1st. It always was on the 1st.
It wasn't last year.
I know, but it always was.
Well, I've got tickets, so if it's on the 1st and we're going, then I'm going to have to bail early.
And which one would that be that we would make it to?
The Cotton Bowl, if it's in the Cotton Bowl.
So, but then that would be on the 3rd.
Oh, I don't care. Come on out to the Bruin Bowl and get the answer to this question.
Bono will be here.
And more.
Well, we don't know. That's the thing. We're college football supporters, so we don't know when Oklahoma will be playing. No, that's our favorite team. But if they're playing on that day,
to be fair,
that's great.
You're fairly drunk.
Right, that's true. That's true. I'm only 0.087% alcohol now. I'm losing alcohol as we speak. Quite literally as we speak. And maybe that's part of it. I wonder if you can actually have one of these that will equate how much talking you're doing. Oh, that's 7:30, Bono.
Oh,
that's the time. But he just got a smartphone, guys. I'm sorry. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the season, and I hope you're ready for next season, ready for the Bruin Bowl. If you can be down here with us on January 1st, brewing a beer live on the internet,
That's so cool.
We encourage you to do it. We have fun every year we do it. We brew a beer, we watch football, and we'll generally drink some beer as well.
Eventually, we follow the basic underlying credo of most home brewers. We don't start drinking until the boil.
Yeah. We try.
It doesn't always happen that way, especially like last year's Brewing Bowl. We had a lot of good people coming out and bringing a lot of good beer. Yeah. So you can't not drink the good beer that they're bringing. But we ended up brewing. We start usually right around 7 in the morning. Bono and I'll get stuff prepped up and get going. 8 in the morning, we're mashing in and doing the stuff, and hopefully by 12:30, 1 o'clock, we're wrapped up, cleaned up, and
inside
and sitting,
thawing out, watching football,
eating a bunch of chili, and drinking a bunch of good beer.
Yeah. So definitely try to come make it out for that. Have a Merry Christmas. And while you're enjoying your Merry Christmas, keep in mind that we are not professionals.
So please try this at home.
This agitation, frustration, the memorization of the things I'm gonna do to you. This magical and powerful addiction to the pain affliction on your porcelain skin.